This is a question about databases. So GCSE Database. So we've got two tables. We've got this idea of member and award. And we can kind of straight away see, I hope we can straight away see that the member ID here is the primary key, and that is linked to this table as a foreign key here. So we'll think about that and maybe use it later on. So the first thing we want to think about is what is a relational database. So it's just a general kind of question we've got. It's 2 marks, and we just need the definition. So it's a database with multiple tables and that's going to get us 1 mark, I think, and then that are linked or better to say reference each other. So they reference each other because we've got this member ID here referencing the member ID here. So it's a foreign key references the primary key in this table. But we're going to get 2 marks for that one. If we said that are linked, or if we said reference each other, as long as we've said multiple tables, we're going to get the marks for that one. So a benefit of using relational databases, well, this is a benefit over just having a standard file system, like a set of text files is what they're thinking about. So there are 2 standard answers really to this. It reduces either data redundancy, and that's where we've got repeating data. So we've got data that repeats in several files, or it reduces data inconsistencies. And the reason for that is that because we've got this linking system again here, we won't be allowed to put anything in the award table where the member ID doesn't already exist in the member table. So we can't give an award to a member that doesn't exist in this member table. So we can't give an award to someone who's not one of our members, which means we don't get inconsistent data in the award table. So now we're on to some ones that we should be able to pick up okay here. So state the name of the field from the member table that's the most suitable as the primary key. Well, we've got member ID, so member ID is going to be unique. So we'll just write that one down because it's obviously the right one. State the name of the field in the award table that's the foreign key. So we've already looked at that. The member ID is the foreign key. So don't be confused by the fact that they've asked you a question where the answer is the same on both of them. Don't try to second guess them. It is correct after all. So they're the first questions on that one, which are not too bad to get marks on. Partly they're just definitions, and we're going to have to remember, some definitions. It's kind of what we have to do, I suppose. Let's move on and think about this again. So we've just repeated the data there so we can see it again. Let's move it down again. There we go. So now we've got this idea of an SQL query. So SQL queries are queries that retrieve data. So when you're doing this, it's probably a good idea to think about what we want to do, and it might be a good idea to highlight bits of the question in this case. So we want people that have been given the leader award. We're going to include both names of each member and the date the award was presented. So that gives us the first clue as to what we want to put in on this one. So the first thing we usually always going to do this, so I like to write them down first so I don't forget. So I'm going to put down select. I'm going to put down from. I'm going to put down where and my order by. You don't always need order by, but it does say we need to order it on this one, so I'm going to put it down. I probably didn't leave myself a huge amount of space on the where clause, but there we go. We can always move it around. So the first thing is, what am I selecting? Well, it tells me in the question what I'm selecting, the names of each member and the date the award was presented. So I'm going to select first name, and we got a little comma in between, last name, and date presented. I'm just reading the name. I can just about fit that on, date presented. So that's in the select clause. What we're going, this is going to bring the fields for us. So it normally tells us in the question what fields we want, and in this case it does. We're going to get a mark for doing that. So really all we've done is copy them into the right place. So then where's this going to come from? Well, the names are going to come from the member table, and the date presented we need to come from the award table. So they're going to come from member and award, and they're the tables we're bringing the data from. So then let's give ourselves a bit more room for the where clause, because we might need a bit more room for that. There we go. So where. So now this is where we're going to put our criteria in. And it's up to you which way round you do this, but you've got to do the linking idea. So remember that these tables link like this. So we can say where member dot member ID equals award dot member ID. And because we need an and, because that will just link the tables for us, but we've got some criteria that's in the question, and it's about the leader award. So we're going to say where award name equals, and it's leader. It's a string, so we're going to put it in quote marks like that. So that's our where clause. That's done. So we want to order it. It says the results must be in order of the date of the awards presented. Order by date presented. And it is ascending. You don't have to put ascending in ASC, but you can, because it defaults to ASC anyway. So if you're not sure, just don't put it in. The only other thing, if it's the other way round, so if it starts with the most recent, then it would be DESC for descending. So that's our SQL for that one. Now we'll just go to the left. We've got another question on this one. So this question's about doing an insert query, but they've helped us a bit with it. So our insert query, we just need to fill in the bit where it says A and the bit where it says B. So we want to put a new member in, so we're looking to insert into member, because that's the table. And these are the things we're inserting, and it just wants us to know that they are values. So if we write values in, we're going to get the points. So that's that question, all of that question from this paper on databases. So always a good idea, I think, on these to try and identify where there's a link like this. So if you were doing this as a entity relationship drawing like this, you'd have member and award, and it would be one to many like this, because it's always one at that end. It's one at that end because it's the primary key. Primary key, it's always going to be one. So that's this database question.